Hi, in this video we will take a look at how to use the minimum and maximum frame sizing in SwiftUI to make user interface adaptive to different devices. In this example, we have the Apple TV remote. You can see over here it is displayed using the iPhone 12, and that shows the interface beautifully with iPhone 12. If we, for example, change the device to iPhone 8, you can see part of the interface are clipped. For example, looking at the top part, we don't see the text and the icon. Also, looking at the bottom, you can see part of the icons and the interface elements are clipped. This is because we are using fixed frame sizing. You can see from here, we have a rectangle. That is the biggest rectangle, and it has this frame of width 390 and height 506. And this is a fixed size. So if we create the design for a particular device, changing to another device, the interface is not going to be adaptive. To make this adaptive, we need to use the minimum and the maximum sizing of the frame. First, I'm going to change this from iPhone 8 to iPhone 12 Pro or iPhone 12. And that adapts beautifully. If we also change to, for example, iPod Touch, we now don't see the text and the interface elements at all. By making this adaptive using the minimum and maximum sizing of the frame, the interface will be beautifully adapted to any device we choose. Let's change it back to iPhone 12. The minimum and the maximum sizes of the frame makes your UI adjustable, so you can tell it how small the frame can be or how big the frame can be. So instead of specifying a fixed width and a fixed height, we rather want to specify the width as how big it can get and specify the height as how big it can get. So here we are going to use max width instead of width. Then for the height, we are going to use max height. So this is for this big rectangle. So we are going to repeat this for all the shape views. For example, this circle and this rectangle and the circles on which the symbols are placed. So let's scroll down, or let's copy this frame which has the max width and the max height. Then we go to the next. That is this circle on the left. You can see it also has the fixed frame of 70 by 70. So let's place the one we just copied and change this to 70. Then the height to 70 as well. Let's move on by going to the next circle, which is this one. We will replace the frame. Let's change the max width to 70 and the max height to 70 as well. Then we go to the one at the center. We remove the frame. You can see here the width is set to 142 and the height is 142. So let's replace that and change this to 142. Then we will change this to 142 as well. The last one is the rounded rectangle, which is found on the right. That one is contained in this ZStack parent container. So you can see here we have the frame modifier, which has a width of 64 and a height of 142. So let's replace that and change this to 64 and the max height to 142, and then resume. So for each of the sizes, we have now specified how large the width can be and how large the height can be. So now, whatever device we change to, this is going to adapt beautifully. So let's change it to iPod Touch 7th generation and resume. You can notice from here, we now see all the interface elements. We can change it to, for example, iPhone SE 2nd generation. So you can see from here, we have the iPhone SE 2nd generation and the interface displays beautifully. Let's change it to iPhone 8. It also shows nicely on iPhone 8. If we, for example, change it to iPad, let's choose iPad Air 7th generation. Since the preview is too big, let's zoom in. You can see here the interface is beautifully displayed on iPad as well. So this is how to use the minimum and the maximum sizing of the frame modifier to create adaptive interfaces here inside SwiftUI.